Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I pray that you've had an awesome night. I wanted to come on this morning just to share with you about the Prayer Incubator. I know you hear this song in the background, and it is winning. Are you winning in your prayer life? That's the question I want you to ponder. Are you winning in your prayer life? I don't know about you, but I am winning in my prayer life. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to listen to that. His hand is on me if you agree. And it's plain and simply, go ahead and throw your hands up. I woke up this morning to get it in. No, I'm not playing. This is my trend. I pray that you've had a good night. I want to come on this morning just to tell you a little bit more about the signature program that I announced on last Friday. By the way, those of you who do not know, I am Anita Merchant. I am known as the Prayer Advocate. I am sold out to prayer. And what I do is I help educate, equip, and encourage people to first establish a prayer life if they don't have a prayer life, or to how to maintain a consistent prayer life. I wanted to talk about it this morning. Last Friday, I announced that it's going to be launched on April 1st. Yes, the Prayer Incubator will be launched on April 1st. Good morning, Dolores. Hey, what's going on there in Houston? And so I wanted to come on and share some more information about the Prayer Incubator. You know, a lot of times we are praying and we're going through the motions. We may not know why our prayers are not being answered. We may not even know why we're praying or how to pray. What's the reason behind prayer? Do we need to pray? If we don't, how do we go about starting? How do we maintain? How do we be consistent and persistent? Because we know in life, anything that you want to accomplish, you want to be successful in, you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, and you have to have a strategy to be able to maintain. And so I wanted to come on this morning just to tell you a little bit more about the Prayer Incubator. Again, it's going to be launched April 1st. There's only going to be a seat of 10 women, men, whoever would like to enroll, because men, you can benefit from having a consistent prayer life too. So those of you who are watching now or who will go back and watch the replay, I want to encourage you to share this with someone that you know who may be able to be blessed by this information. So the Prayer Incubator, what is the Prayer Incubator? It is a place where you will be able to come with others and gather in a small, intimate setting. The setting will be from the comfort of your home. Yes, it's going to be from the comfort of your home. The process for the Prayer Incubator will be done by conference line, where you will call in. It's a private line. It's an intimate line. It's a secret line. And so you won't have to worry about the things that are discussed or how things that you learn about prayer, that it will be announced publicly, because it's going to be privately. And so I wanted to share that with you. It's going to be, you can be in the comfort of your home. So that's number one. The second thing is it's going to be early in the morning. And I'm saying and sharing the early in the morning thing is because we're going to meet at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time for about 30 to 45 minutes. You will be taught some strategies and some things about prayer that you may not even know. For example, did you know that there were 605 prayers in the Bible? A lot of people don't know that. They just think that we just pray. And so I wanted to just kind of briefly give you some of the things that you're going to learn in the Prayer Incubator about prayer. And then also I would like to say to you that the next thing would be is that you're going to learn some strategies that you can keep practicing, things that you can keep doing, actions that you can take to make sure you spend time with God. And the way to do that and to start your morning is through prayer. We're going to have some things where we'll talk about how important it is to journal your prayers, how important it is to meditate, how important it is sometimes just to start with worship music before you go into prayer. There's going to be a lot of things that you will learn about prayer that you probably thought you knew and yet you didn't know. Okay. And so then the next thing is it's going to be 7 weeks. It will be 7 Mondays starting each Monday morning, because we start our week off Monday mornings running and racing for the whole entire week. And so we're going to be doing this on Monday mornings for 7 straight Mondays. Again, from 5 a.m. to about 5:45 at the longest, to give you some time to be able to hear and receive. And even if you have questions or have testimonies from how things are happening and changing in your life over the course of the 7 weeks, because I can tell you, and God is going to back me up on this, I know, your life is going to change once you go through the prayer incubator. Your prayer life is going to change. You're going to have a transformation, a transition. You're going to have things where you would never begin to know until you take the prayer incubator about how prayer will change your life. Why pray? How to pray? Do you have a prayer life? Why it's important to have a prayer life? So all of those things are going to be some of the general things that we would touch bases in the prayer incubator. Now, here is the thing. The prayer incubator has a cost. It's not a salesy thing, but it's just to prepare you ahead of time. The registration is going to actually open up on next week. You'll get a post on my page or the information about where the website, the link, and all those things. And so I want you to be on the lookout to see when this information will come out. Okay, and not only that, not wanting you to focus on so much of the cost, but to focus on how would you benefit from enrolling in the prayer incubator? And there are several things that you will benefit from. Number one, your prayer life is going to change. Number two, if you don't have a prayer life, after going through the prayer incubator, you're going to have a prayer life. Number three, if you are struggling in your prayer life, if you are praying occasionally or praying only when you need something from God, that is going to change when you go through the prayer incubator. If your prayer life has been somewhat consistent, but you're not getting like results that you feel like you should, or that you're thinking God is not hearing your prayers, then when you enroll in the prayer incubator and go through that process, you're going to understand why the prayer may be held up. If God is listening, whether he's hearing you or not, you're going to get to know all those things and the reasons why your prayers may be held up, why they may be stagnated, why you may feel like they're not being heard by God. All of those things are going to be taught. So that's just a tidbit of the things that will be offered in the prayer incubator. The prayer incubator, once again, is 7 weeks. It will be 7 Mondays. From 5 a.m. until about 5:45 a.m. and allowing the Holy Spirit to lead whichever direction it go. Here's the thing that I want you to keep in mind. Not so much as focusing on the cost factor, but if it's something you feel you need, invest in yourself. It's nothing like investing in yourself. I can raise my hand and testify. Every time I invest in myself, there's a reward at the end that I can see it was worth the investment. So here's the deal. The cost factor as far as the prayer incubator is not so much as what I want you to focus on. You'll see that information, like I say, that will come out on next week. You will be able to go to the link and register for the program. You must pay for the program in order to be enrolled. It's going to be privately. It's going to be intimately, as I say. And so you will want to make sure that you are on top of being able to enroll into the program. Now, the first person who enrolled in the program, I have a surprise for you. I'll announce that next week once the enrollment process opens up. The first person to enroll, I have a huge surprise for you. Also, when you enroll in the prayer incubator, you're going to get one of these. I'm going to hold this up. It is my signature prayer handkerchief. They've been prayed over. You will receive one of these if you enroll in the program. It's a prayer handkerchief with the 7 visuals that God has given me to use as strategies to help people maintain, establish a consistent prayer life. And so I wanted you to see this. This is what you will receive when you enroll. You will be mailed one of these prayer handkerchiefs. And also, once you enroll, you will also receive an ebook of my book that I wrote, Strength of a Prayer Intercessor. You will also receive this ebook when you enroll. So I want to encourage you. This is just a little perks of things that you will enroll. Once again, you will receive the prayer handkerchief that's been prayed over, anointed, and it will remind you of some visuals that God has given me to use you to help you strategize and establish a prayer life and maintain a consistent prayer life. Also, once again, you will receive my ebook on Strength of a Prayer Intercessor. This is the book that I wrote last year. God gave me the vision to write it, and I wrote this book, and it really talks about how prayer sustains you when you're not making the best of choices. And so I wanted to inform you, those are two things that you will receive when you enroll in the program. Hey, Tanya, that's my girl there. And so also I wanted to remind you, it's only going to be open to 10 people. The enrollment will only be open to 10 people. So you want to make sure that if you want to enroll in the Prayer Incubator, that you will have to make sure you're in that number 10. It won't be more than 10. So don't stagnate and lag on enrolling in the program. If you have any questions or concerns before the link is opened up for you to enroll, you can email me at visualsofprayer@gmail.com. Again, that's visualsofprayer@gmail.com. I want to remind you also is that the Prayer Incubator is something that if you're struggling in your prayer life, because sometimes we think the way that we've been praying for 20 years is a successful prayer life, or the way that we learn how to pray from grandma, or the way we learn how to pray from deacon so-and-so in the church, or the way we learn how to pray just hearing other people. We think we're praying correctly, or we think we're praying the right way, or we think that we are really praying. And there's so much more involved in besides of going through the motions of praying the norm, of praying the way you saw somebody else pray, or worrying about the words that they may have chose you feel like you should choose, or you don't sound like they should sound. There's so much more to prayer. And one of the things you will learn in the Prayer Incubator, the intimate prayer life that you create with God is what's more important than anything else. So I want to encourage you to look at your schedule. It's going to be 7 straight weeks, 7 Mondays. It's going to be early in the morning. And the early in the morning is because the earth is still. And most of the time in our homes and where we are, it's still. People are not really moving around because you're going to need an intimate space. You're going to need quietness. You're going to need an opportunity to be able to have no interruptions. You're going to have the baby to have the opportunity to be able to just be in a space where you can receive God and receive the Holy Spirit. So I want to encourage you. Email me if you want to know more information. Then, like I said, the link will be put on the page on next week where you can go in and register. I want to encourage you, if you do not have a prayer life, to really think about the Prayer Incubator. Go to God. Ask him, is the Prayer Incubator for me? God, is you telling me I need to improve my prayer life? I need to change my prayer life. I need to be more vibrant in my prayer life. Most people think prayer is boring, but I have a yummy, fun prayer life. Some mornings I get up and I'm popping in my prayer life where I have my worship music going. Sometimes I may have a quiet prayer life morning. I may be praying and meditating and really wanting to hear from God. But whichever way I choose, I love my prayer life. I'm winning in my prayer life. My prayer life is vibrant. I'm not struggling in my prayer life. And so let's just think about those things to determine if you really need the Prayer Incubator. Like I said first, pray and ask God, because you're going to really need some dedicated time. And you need to really be okay with the 7 straight weeks. There won't be anywhere where you need to say, well, I'm going to do one and not the other. You really need to do the 7 straight weeks. So I wanted to come on this morning and really talk about the Prayer Incubator. I want to just say, I thank all of y'all who have already reached out to me and asked me about the Prayer Incubator. I was trying to. And so I want to encourage you to pray about it. Really think about it. The Prayer Incubator will change your life. I want to remind you also that be on the lookout for the information to register next week. Remember, there's a prize a nice surprise for the person who is the first person to pay in full and register for the Prayer Incubator. You won't forget it. And be reminded that you will get an ebook copy of my book, Strength of a Prayer Intercessor. You will also receive this anointed prayer cloth that I've prayed over and God has allowed me to come and create. It is a strategy that's going to help you with your consistent prayer life. It is a strategy that's going to help you even establish your prayer life. And so I pray that you will be blessed the rest of this day. And remember, let nothing good or bad interrupt your consistent prayer life. Be blessed.
I feel good. I'm so grateful. I feel good. I'm so thankful. I feel good. Man, I'm so blessed. I feel good. Hands up.